What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my ranking for the Fast and Furious movies. So, as of yesterday, we now have 10 movies in this franchise, 9 main storylines, and then the spin-off movie Hobbs and Shaw. And over the last few months, I've reviewed all of the movies, so today it's time for me to do my ranking. So, coming in at number 10 is The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. This is one that like most people, I feel is just the weakest in the franchise. I don't think it's near as bad as some people say it is. It does have a lot of fun moments and everything, but it definitely isn't as fun. Aside from Han, none of the new characters were that interesting. Sean was okay. Lucas Black was good as Sean, I guess, but he wasn't believable. It was hard to believe that somebody who was like 30 years old playing a teenager, it just wasn't believable at all. But he was fine in the role, I guess, and I did like Bow Wow in this movie as Twinkie, and it was a good introduction to Han and everything, which he has a huge part in the rest of the franchise. So, and that little cameo with Vin Diesel at the end of the movie was pretty cool. So it does have its moments, and like the big race at the end was kind of cool. Not super great, but cool enough. And it's an okay movie, but it's easily my least favorite out of this franchise. So The Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift is number 10, and number 9 is Too Fast, Too Furious. This is one of the ones that I actually did grow up watching. I watched this one and the first one a lot as a kid and everything when they both first came out, and I absolutely loved this movie as a kid, and I still do enjoy it quite a bit. I think it's still a lot of fun and everything. It was a really good introduction to Roman and Tej and everything. It kind of like with Tokyo Drift, this kind of feels like a somewhat spin-off movie, because it's don't really feel as much like a direct sequel to the first one, although it's more of a sequel than Tokyo Drift was. But I did enjoy this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun and everything, and got introduction to some of my favorite characters in the franchise and everything. It also had a lot of the cliches with the drug lord and all that. You knew how this movie was going to go and everything, but I did enjoy it. I think it's good enough. So Too Fast, Too Furious is number 9, and number 8 is Fast and Furious, also known as Fast and Furious 4. This is a really good movie. To me, this one feels like a direct sequel to the first movie, and it's really entertaining. I've really enjoyed it quite a bit. I know a lot of people didn't like this one very much, but I absolutely loved it. It was a good return to form for the series, and Letty's death was pointless and stuff, but it still was had brought some good emotional moments and everything. And the ending of the movie, though, was just kind of it didn't have the best ending and stuff. Like, out of all the movies, I think this one and Tokyo Drift have the weakest endings in the franchise, but everything else, I really enjoyed this one quite a bit and thought it was a lot better than most people do and everything. So Fast and Furious is number 8, and number 7 is Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. I actually really liked this movie quite a bit. I thought it was a lot of fun and a lot better than I expected. I watched it for the first time a couple weeks ago, and of course this movie follows Luke Hobbs and Deckard Shaw, and they're trying to stop this guy who's wanting to make this virus spread all over the world that will enhance humans, but it could also kill them too. He wants to unleash this virus, and it's really a good movie, kind of ahead of its time if you think about it, but kind of predictable movie, or predictive programming there. But I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. The Rock and Jason Statham were both hilarious together in this movie, and it's pretty sad. This movie is funnier than most comedy movies are nowadays. Everything they really leaned into the comedic timing with both of these two, pulling off really good comedy in here. And Shaw's sister was a welcome addition. She was really likable and everything, and I thought it was cool we get to meet Hobbs's family and stuff and see where he came from and everything. And Idris Elba was really great as the villain of the movie, so I really did enjoy this one quite a bit, and it could move up later down the line, but for right now it's at number 7. And number 6 is Fast 5. This is the one that pretty much reinvented the franchise and took it into new territory where they were doing these heist movies for a while, and a lot of people consider this to be the best in the franchise, and I can get it. I mean, it is a lot of fun and everything, but it's definitely not my most favorite either. I think it's just pretty good. I don't think it's terrible or anything, but I don't think it's as good as a lot of people say it is either. But it had some pretty good action scenes in here, and got some good continuity with characters from the first movie showing up in here and everything. Unfortunately, the last time we see them, and bringing everybody together and everything for the first time was a lot of fun to see, and everything, getting Roman and Tej and Giselle and Han in here, and bringing the Torettos and Brian and everything. It just was a really awesome movie, getting to see all of these characters together and everything. It was really cool, so I really enjoyed it. So Fast 5 is number 6, and number 5 is Furious 7. I really like this movie quite a bit. I think it's a lot of fun and everything. It has some really great moments and stuff, especially the skydiving scene when Roman is scared to skydive and they trick him into it, and that scene just always cracks me up every time I watch it. It's really, really great moment. And I also really like the scene when they're driving through the buildings and stuff, and Ronda Rousey is fighting Letty and Roman's trying to do the distraction. It has a lot of really fun moments in here and everything. It's really, really good movie and everything. It's definitely one of the better movies in the franchise to me, but it's still not my most favorite. I don't like it as much as some people do, but I do feel like it was a really good one. Most people say it was the one that should have ended the series because the way they did the tribute to Paul Walker and stuff, and to an extent I can understand and agree that if they would have ended it with this one, it would have been a decent ending. But I'm glad they've continued it, because I know Paul Walker would have wanted them to, because if he was still alive, he would still be in all of these movies, and he wanted to do more of them, because he had said when he was making Fast 6 that he was planning on doing Fast 8, so I'm glad that they continued after this one anyway. But I really do love this movie and everything. It's number 5, and number 4 is The Fate of the Furious. This one is actually probably the one that I think is one of the most underrated movies in the franchise. I really don't get the hate on it. It's a lot of fun. The tank scene and stuff is absolutely crazy and everything. It's a lot of fun. And the scene when they're driving in the streets and cars are flying out of the buildings and stuff, and they're like, it's raining cars and stuff. It was just really crazy, fun, over the top stuff. And Vin Diesel gave her one of his best performances in the franchise. Personally, to me, and I love like that he has to join Cypher and stuff, and they're having to go up against him and everything. I thought that was kind of cool, and it's a really fun movie. It's so much better than people say it is. It's not anything super special, but it is really fun and everything. And I really debated whether I was going to put this at 3 or 4, but I decided to go ahead and put the other one at number 3. So yeah, Fate of the Furious is number 4, and number 3 is F9: The Fast Saga. This is the newest movie in the franchise, and I absolutely had a blast with this movie. It was the first one I got to see in the theater and everything. I saw it the other day in the theater, and it was a lot of fun. Really great cast and everything. Everybody was really great in here again. I did miss having The Rock and Jason Statham in here, but it makes sense why they weren't. I'm not 100%, but I think that Hobbs and Shaw might have been taking place at the same time as this one. Or no, this was set after Hobbs and Shaw, I'm pretty sure. But I'm guessing they had their own reasons for not being in here. Maybe Hobbs and Shaw 2 takes place at the same time as this one, I don't know. But I had a lot of fun with it. There's a lot of really crazy, over-the-top stuff, and a lot of people are complaining about how unrealistic it is and that it's Looney Tunes style of violence and stuff, but I love Looney Tunes, so it doesn't really bother me. I don't go into these movies expecting anything super deep or anything. They're just meant to be fun, turn your brain off movies, and a lot of stuff is over the top, a lot of stuff doesn't make sense and everything, but it's just fun, and you can tell everybody's having fun with it still and everything, and it's just really good movie. I really enjoy it. I don't get the hate for this one. It's really good and everything. It's not super great, but it's a good, fun movie, and it's a good 2.5 hours experience in the theater of just turning your brain off and escaping reality for a while. So F9 is number 3, and number 2 is The Fast and the Furious. I absolutely love this movie. It's been one of my favorite movies in the franchise for a long time. It was my favorite out of the ones I had seen, because this one and the second were the only two that I had seen for a long time. And then all the other ones I've only seen twice, except for the newest one, and Hobbs and Shaw. But I absolutely love The Fast and the Furious. It's a really fun movie, and it holds up pretty well for the most part. There are a few things in here that don't hold up, but it really feels like an early 2000s movie, but that doesn't really bother me. It really takes me back to my childhood every time I watch it and everything, and I really enjoy this one quite a bit. I think Vin Diesel and Paul Walker were both really good in this movie, and it was a really good introduction to these characters and everything. So yeah, so The Fast and the Furious is number 2. And my number 1 favorite movie in the Fast franchise is Fast and Furious 6. I think out of all of them, this one is just a ton of fun. There's so many great moments and stuff. That highway chase sequence was great. The big finale where they're trying to take down the plane and stuff was great. Luke Evans was really good as Owen Shaw. He was a pretty good villain. And just really entertaining. I had a lot of fun with this from start to finish and everything. You get to see some really funny moments and stuff, and got all of the cast together and everything for one last time. All the big characters from the first 4. This was the last time we got to see Giselle and everything. So I really love this movie. I think Fast and Furious 6 was a really entertaining movie, and it's easily my favorite movie in the franchise. Most time the 6th installment in franchises are usually really bad, but this one just was a lot of fun, and it's one of those franchises that even as they keep going and stuff, I still have a lot of fun with them. I really don't feel like they're losing their touch. I still think they're all really enjoyable, and maybe it's because I always get what I'm expected and everything. Like, everything I predicted was going to happen in F9 happened in it and everything, and it didn't disappoint me. Other franchises and stuff, I'd probably say they were playing it way too safe and stuff, but this one they didn't. They play it safe, but it works in their favor when they do play it safe, if that makes sense and everything. And I just love this franchise, but Fast and Furious 6 is easily my favorite in the franchise. So but anyway, let me know in the comments how you would rank the Fast and Furious franchise. If you don't want to do your full ranking, tell me your favorite and least favorite. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.